Hello, good evening, and happy summer. Today we have our reorganization meeting for the Board of Education. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Tonight's meetings include video conferencing of a board trustee, Jim Smith, due to extenuating circumstances under Public Meetings Law 103A and in alignment with District Policy Number 2325. There will be opportunity for virtual public comment during the meeting when permitted, and these comments can be submitted to the district clerk at smahoney, that's SMAHONEY, at swr.k12.ny.us. Okay, I'm going to turn the meeting over to Stephanie Mahoney, who is our district clerk.
Thank you. May I have an approval of a motion to approve the reorg meeting agenda? Tom, second. Megan? Questions? Comments? Can I get a vote? 7-0. Okay. At this time, we're going to be swearing in the re-elected board members. If I could please have Ms. Anderson up to the podium, and then I'll continue to call you up when it's your turn. You're just going to repeat after me. Put it here. I, Katie Anderson,
I, Katie Anderson,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully
discharge
the duties of the office of School Board Trustee
discharge the duties of the office of School Board Trustee
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Perfect. I'm just going to have you sign right there. I'll fill in the list. Perfect. Mr. Lewis, please come to the podium. Okay. You're just going to repeat after me.
To raise my hand? No?
You
Yeah,
can.
okay.
I, Michael Lewis,
I, Michael Lewis,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully
and that I will faithfully
discharge the duties of the office of School Board Trustee
discharge the duties of the office of School Board Trustee
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Just gonna have you sign right there. Thank you. Mr. Henry Press. Okay. Okay, you're just going to repeat after me.
My glasses.
Okay.
Speak for yourself.
I, Henry Perez,
I, Henry Perez,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully
and that I will faithfully
discharge the duties of the office of School Board Trustee
discharge the duties of the office of School Board Trustee
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
There. Or can you have that?
I got black.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. At this time, we're going to move on to the election and swearing in of the president for the 2023-2024 school year. May I get a motion to nominate a board president for the 23-24 school year? Katie, second. Megan? Do I have any nominations for president?
I'd like to nominate Mr. Thomas Sheridan. I believe that Tom is an asset for our Board of Education in his longevity in serving the school district as well as his dedication. It's admirable to me personally that his daughters have graduated from the district and he remains in service for the long-term good of the school district, and his professional background in finance in that industry certainly benefits the board in his perspective that he adds to our budget planning process and his service on the policy committee. So,
Thank you. Do I have any other nominations? Okay. At this time, nominations for president are now closed. Can I have all in favor of Tom Sheridan as the 23-24 president? Perfect. 7-0. Congratulations, Mr. Sheridan.
Thank you.
If you can meet me at the podium, I
Sure,
can
I'll
swear
reach
you
at
in.
the podium, so.
You're just going to repeat after me.
Okay.
I, Thomas Sheridan,
I, Thomas Sheridan,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully
and that I will faithfully
discharge the duties of the office of School Board President
discharge the duties of the office of School Board President
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Just going to have you sign right here.
Got it.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You are going to be taking over the meeting from this
Okay, great.
point going
Okay,
forward.
terrific.
It's at your desk,
Okay, great.
but it's
Right there.
highlighted.
Okay, great. Okay, oh, that's why. Sorry, I wasn't ready for that. Thanks. Thank you.
I got it. Here.
Okay, cool. Oh, that was Katie's. I just put Katie's stuff in my bag. Thank you all. All right, so we continue right here. So we're going to continue with the meeting. We're going to look for election and swearing in of the vice president for the 2023-2024 school year. May I get a motion to nominate board vice president for the 2023-2024 school year? First Megan, second Katie. Do I have any nominations for the vice president?
I'd also love to nominate Henry Perez. It's been an honor to serve alongside Henry in board leadership, and I believe that the transition will be that much more seamless if Henry's willing to continue to serve. Henry's perspective in engineering and the business and operations side of the district has been invaluable and in terms of his perspective and asset to our community, as well as his tireless dedication to, being present at just about every single board meeting, even when things go awry, or some, items in his personal life. I know today you said you had a long drive, so thank you for being here, and thank you for your time.
Any other nominations? Vice President? Okay. Nominations for Vice President are now closed. All in favor of Henry Perez as Vice President? 7-0. Or 6-0, excuse me. Right? What?
He raised his hand, 7.
Yeah, 7. Oh, so 7, yeah, sorry. I didn't know if Henry has a vote. That's what I was asking. For himself? He does, okay. Thank you. Can you vote for yourself? I guess you can, right?
Just in case.
Stephanie counted yours anyway, Ty.
Yes, I kind of like, thank you. I didn't know. Congratulations, Henry.
Thank you. Thank you for the kind words.
You know, I do this, I swear him in. Okay. So Henry? Okay. So we'll do this together. Yeah, we can do it up there. That's fine, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to read off here. So I, Henry Perez,
I, Henry Perez,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
of America.
Of America.
I haven't done that yet. And the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the Office of School Board Vice President,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the Office of School Board Vice President,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations, Henry.
Thank you.
Okay, I probably should have stayed up at the podium, right? I just realized that. All right, I'm getting there. So now we're going to continue with swearing of the district clerk, treasurer, and claims auditor. May I ask Stephanie Mahoney, please, to join me back at the podium?
That's okay, you're doing great.
Need a wireless mic? A wireless
I should have this
I
memorized.
should
by
just,
now.
yeah, no kidding, right? So I, Stephanie Mahoney,
I, Stephanie Mahoney,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
thank you, and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the Office of District Clerk
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the Office of District Clerk
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Stephanie.
I'll take
Appreciate that.
over
Yeah.
for these two.
Okay, great. Do you need to sign these at
Yes,
all?
I do.
Okay, that's what I thought. All right. Henry should have.
Yep, Henry, that's
Okay,
okay,
Henry,
he can
okay,
sign
that's
it,
fine.
yep.
Okay, great, thank you. Great. I'll let you take over for the treasurer and claims auditor?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Can I please call up Janet Hanson, our district treasurer? Hi. You're just going to repeat after me. I, Janet Hanson,
I, Janet Hanson,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the Office of District Treasurer
and I will faithfully discharge the duties of the Office of the District Treasurer
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Go ahead and have you sign this, okay? Just right there.
Thanks.
Thank you. And may I have Mr. Derek Rand here? Thank you. You're just going to repeat after me. I, Derek Rand,
I, Derek Rand,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the Office of Claims Auditor
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the Office of Claims Auditor
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Just going to have you sign right there. Thank you.
Congratulations. Stephanie, can I ask you to bring me back? Yeah.
I will.
I left my cheat sheet there. Okay, next up on the meeting is annual appointments. May I get a motion to approve the annual appointments? Katie, second Henry. Any discussion or questions? Okay to vote? All in favor? Okay, 7-0. Okay. Next up is bonding of personnel. May I get a motion to approve, or may I get a motion for the bonding of personnel? Katie, Henry, thank you. Any discussion or questions? Okay to vote? All in favor? Jim, all in favor on that one? Okay, thank you. 7-0. Next up, authorizations. I think I could take these as a block, right? These are all block? Okay, great, thank you, just making sure. Okay, thank you, Jerry. Oh, yeah, okay, thank you. Yeah, there's a lot. So they go from letter A through letter V. Thank you. May I get a motion to approve may I get a motion on the authorizations, please? Mike, second, Megan. Any discussion or questions? Okay to vote? All in favor? 7-0. Okay. Next section is designations approvals. May I get a motion? Henry, second, Katie.
Are you taking them as block? I'm sorry.
Yes, oh, sorry, good point, Mike. The designations go from A, designation of Board of Education meetings, through I, designation of mileage reimbursement rate. Okay to take as a block?
Yes.
Okay, great. So I have Henry and Katie as first and second motion. Any discussion or questions? Okay, okay to vote? All in favor? 7-0. Thank you. Next section up is actions. Goes from letter A through letter F. May I get a motion? Henry, second. Katie? As far as I need to. Any discussion or questions on this?
Just, I'm sorry.
Yep, please.
What's next file one?
Yeah, and actions, Mike?
Yeah, just the revised code of conduct. Is there like a little cheat sheet that says what was revised?
It's all highlighted in
Is
the
it?
document.
It's highlighted? Probably, maybe I just didn't get to it.
That's on page 16.
I'm just gonna
That's
say
on
What I
page
give you is
16.
basically what we did is we put another setting in where you can go from detention. We also included that could be before, after school, or in school detention. And then it's an alternative learning space rather than going into, say, an all-day in-school suspension. This way, if a child is receiving services, they can still get their services. So it's somewhere in between out-of-school suspension and an in-school suspension and detention. So it's another layer.
Okay, thank you.
No, good point. Okay, any other questions? Okay to vote? All in favor? 7-0. Okay. At this point, I'd like to adjourn this meeting. May I get a motion to adjourn the meeting? First, Rob. Oh, Katie had a question?
I just had a quick question. Do we need to do the committee selections now?
Oh.
The next meeting?
At
Oh,
the
it's
next meeting? Okay, just wanted to double check.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
All right, so I had a first from you, Rob. Anyone second? Katie? All in favor? 7-0. Time is 7. Okay. So now I'll open up the next meeting, right? Ultimately, we skip to the tonight's meeting. Don't think I have. Is that this one? Go back, Jerry, thank you. Oh, my bad, I closed it. There you go, perfect.
Thank you.
Okay, great. I'm gonna do it over here. Give me 1 second. So I can waive the pledge, right, obviously? So, want to open up the meeting for tonight, the regular public session for 7-Eleven. May I get a motion to approve tonight's agenda? First Mike, second Henry. Any questions on tonight's agenda? Okay to approve? All in favor? 7-0. Superintendent's report.
Okay, thank you,
Mr.
Mr.
Poole,
Sheridan.
yes.
Good evening, welcome everybody. Welcome to our first meeting of the year. It's kind of great to kick off the 23-24 school year. As always, thank you to our entire Board of Education for their leadership and service and time commitment. I don't think everybody still really understands the time commitment that trustees put in. And a special thank you to, and congratulations, Mrs. Sheridan, Board of Education President, which is an extra time commitment, and to Mr. Perez for Board of Education Vice President, which is also an extra time commitment. So thank you for your leadership, service, and support. Kind of exciting to start off of the school year. So, and even though it's summer, I do have some congratulations for students that we found out at the end of the year. So congratulations to James Wicks from the class of 2023, who came in second place in both the audio, radio production regionals and New York State event, and then went on to compete in the national event with his partner from a neighboring district, where he earned a gold medal for a skills-based 2-minute news story complete with commercials. And I know James is off to Berkeley, so probably a great experience for him. So congratulations to him. Congratulations to Alec Agoric, Grace Ann Leonard, Liam Kirschus for being named to the All Long Island team for lacrosse. So congratulations to those students. So about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, we had a fantastic graduation ceremony for the class of 2023. Just an amazing class. The ceremony was wonderful. Thank you to Mr. Pugliese and his team for putting together such a wonderful event. I know that class is going to go on and do amazing things in the school district, in their lives. Summer is a very busy time in our district, along with the many capital projects and maintenance work which we shared at our last meeting. We have several summer programs running this year, which include Round Out, Summer Theater, Summer Music, Elementary At-Risk Program, early start kindergarten, AP Week, and as we annually do, we are hosting and providing the space for Eastern Suffolk BOCES to run a regional summer special education program. I also like to share tonight with the community and board that with the goal of supporting students in all areas of high school life and supporting staff, we are adding a second assistant principal to the high school, and I'm happy to share that Mr. Ackerman will be moving up to the high school to take on that new and important role. Tonight, we have a report and hearing on revisions to the district-wide safety plan from Mr. Rossini. After the hearing, the plans will be posted on the district webpage for comment and feedback, and then when we return at the end of August, as we do every year, the final plan, safety plan, will be adopted by the Board of Education in advance of the school year. And finally, SWR this year is, as I've mentioned before, is celebrating our 50th anniversary. This evening, I'll be starting off our year-long celebration with a brief look back on our past. If you were a student, this is the community, if you were a student or a staff member during the past 50 years, please see our Facebook and Instagram pages to add your name to our alumni list. And also, we have a section on our webpage titled SWR 50, where we will be adding information on upcoming events, historical documents, and other items as the year progresses. So it should be a lot of fun celebrating our past across the school year. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Poole. Next up is opportunity for board members. I did want to just start with overwhelmingly thanking my fellow board members for the support and obviously giving me the opportunity to be our leader this year. So definitely looking forward to that. I don't know if anyone else has anything to add, but just wanted to share that I'm looking forward to the leadership and hopefully continuing great communication not only to you all, but to our community, and continue to stand for the things that I believe we all are here for, is for our community and for our students. So thanks again for the nod for unanimous support.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you, and thank you, Tom and Henry, for being willing to serve in this capacity. Appreciate it.
Yep, definitely appreciate that. And thanks, Jim, for being here as well. Okay, so continuing forward with our meeting. Anyone else had anything else for opportunity for board members? Okay. Do we have, Ms. Mahoney, do we have any statements from residents thus far? I know that we have the public session open here.
I do not.
Okay, great, thank you. Going to continue. Robin's going to skip that. We're on to reports and reviews. Mr. Fool, right? So I'll give it back to you.
50th anniversary.
50th anniversary, 5-0.
Celebration
Can't go wrong. Looking forward to this.
Two or three.
Whoop. Got a clicker?
Yeah, I do like the logo.
That's okay, so you'll see we have a new logo we have a one-year logo for this year. It's on the district webpage, and you see our logo is incorporated in it, celebrating our 50 years of excellence in Shoreham-Wading. Thank you. All right, great. So just briefly, celebrating across the school year. So I do want to share that earlier today, Councilwoman Bonner would have loved to come to the meeting to present this proclamation to the school board. She wasn't able to make it, but she did come here earlier today and wanted to share with the district a proclamation identifying the July 1st, 2023 as Shoreham-Wading River School District Day to commemorate the 50th anniversary of the school district. So thanks to Ms. Bonner and the town of Brookhaven for presenting that. Nice way to start off the year. So I also want to thank, we started the committee last spring. If you take a look at that, you see current staff, current administrators, current support staff, current PTA, PTO parents on there, and then mixed in there are we had some alumni outreach, or some former teachers and former administrators on there. And so it's been several great meetings. I want to thank Ms. Apatowski for her help with this, and Ms. Nitty, who's taken an active leadership role in the committee as well. So the committee has come up with some planned events for the year, pretty exciting. We'll have something planned for opening day for staff. There'll be a lens of that throughout homecoming, Decade a Day Spirit Week, a district-wide music performance concert. So we're going to have a song composed for the district and have all the music groups in the district come together to perform a 50th anniversary celebration song. A district-wide time capsule project. We'll have a dedication at the board meeting. Each of the buildings are going to get a little section in a time capsule. The tech students are going to build it. We're going to mount it here in the library with a do not open till 2073. I'm pretty sure I won't be here for that. Some of you may. I'm pretty sure I won't. A website section on the webpage. We are going to digitize all the newsletters going back to 1977 and post those on the district webpage for anybody to go back and to read. We have some alumni and community outreach. We're going to have featured articles by students about the history of Shoreham-Wading River, social media work, student video project, and in some way carry the theme into graduation with perhaps some of our alumni coming back. So lots of great events planned for the school year. So I had the pleasure, the fun of going back and looking at some of the history of Shoreham-Wading River, and there'll be a lot more that comes out across the school year, but there's such a rich history here going back in time. I love the picture of Wading River. Of course, we've redone the front of the facade of Wading River, but look how tiny the trees are in the front. Those trees probably have a 10-inch girdle on them now that are in front of the Wading River School. The new wrestling center, the old Wildcat statue that used to be in front of the high school. Lots of history here. On July 1st, 1973, the Shoreham-Wading River Central School District was created. The first superintendent was Richard Doremus. I believe he was here until 1990. And in the same year, the middle school opened its doors. And in fact, one of the first teacher hired in the school district for the middle school is in fact on our SWR 50 committee, Mr. Burkhart. was the first teacher hired, and Mr. Burkhart at the time was the president of the National Middle School Association, and he came here to teach all the way back then. So lots of great anecdotes from him as he's part of that committee. What kind of struck me, and this is sort of a nice theme for us to think about this year, was back in 1976, when students were reflecting and creating a class ring, they came up with the theme of unity and progress. So, and I'm just going to read sort of what their hopes were for the district, because I think their hopes came true in the school district. Reflects the fact, unity and progress reflects the fact that the Shoreham-Wading River School District is the result of the first major joint building effort of the two communities, Shoreham and Wading River, in the education of their children. It is hoped that the feelings of cohesiveness that are becoming more evident in the district continue to grow stronger into the future, and the word progress reflects the bridge between the past and the future. And certainly that has been the case over the decades here in Shoreham-Wading River. I love all these pictures. The first Board of Ed discussions on school consolidation went all the way back to 1926. We have some notes from a board meeting on there. That's a picture of the old Wading River Elementary School, which I don't think was on anybody's minds, but then when we were working at the Wading River School, and we came across an unforeseen condition. That elementary school had burnt down, and lo and behold, nobody took the foundation out. So that looks like it's a cornice or something on there. I remember that change order because it was rather large to remove all of that out of the parking lot. First yearbook was in 1977, the Looking Glass. On October 24th, 1973, resident voters approved the funds for a new high school, and building began. High school opened its doors in 1975. You see some groundbreaking photos from some of the Board of Education leaders that were here at the time, some early photos of high school construction. What's up on the right, which is kind of cool, is that before they built the high school, they had something called a charrette, which they grabbed a group of 40 residents. I got a consultant firm from, I believe the company's from Florida, and they had a 2-day retreat coming up with the ideals, the philosophy, how did they want students taught. They used that means to drive the architectural plans of the high school for the district. So that's been on our website. You can find it on the webpage, but we'll put a link on SWR 50 if anybody's interested in reading that document. First principal at the high school, Norman Boussier, by all accounts, seemed to be a real driving force to bring the high school into existence and bring it on the great path that it is on. The library is dedicated and named in his honor. The quote is, "Every library should have a high school." He's a big supporter of libraries, and I did try to reach out to see if he was around. I couldn't connect with him. He has since passed away, but I did connect with his daughter. I won't read sort of her quote on there, but she shared a little quote that about her father, who was here for 15 years as principal of the high school. So along the school year, there'll be some names that come up that have been big contributors to the school district, and one of them was Principal Boussier. I'm pretty sure our past AD person, Mr. Wagner, had Mr. Boussier as his principal. There are, just a quick look, there are a lot of bridges between the past and the future. The students said bridges between the past and the future. So the boat on the right, the RV Yankee, which was the district's research vessel. So students went out on that as a research vessel. This is I have heard this other story from 2 or 3 different people. That was also the superintendent's boat, that he was able to take people out to see fireworks. So I like that. I like to get a further link back to the past now. So that was the RV Yankee, but a nice link to the future, because over the last few years we've embedded into 5th grade an open seas science expedition trip for students. So some connections between the past and the present. 19, we all remember the barn in the back of the middle school, the farming program, but that hasn't gone away. We have a thriving FFA program here, Long Island Sustainability. We have plans for grow that program, greenhouse at the middle school, state-of-the-art greenhouse, an apiary component to FFA for next year. So continued connections between the past and the future. Certainly there's some great photos that we can find in the past. This is the Miller Avenue School circa 1976. I like all the muscle cars and the motorcycle. Would have liked to have met the teaching team in 1976. along the way. The stone facade stands, right?
Yeah.
The course book, they're different but similar, right? Have the circle in the center of them, right? Interesting. It is interesting. We'll get that course book up on the webpage to look at the old course book
Yeah, see what
and
they
the new
offer.
course book to see how things have changed since 1985.
Oh, fun.
And some newspaper articles. The district was really highlighted in the early 80s and 90s, and a New York Times article shone a light on a school district back then for the computer programming, the new auditorium, which was under construction in 1991. So we actually just renovated the auditorium in the high school. National Blue Ribbon Awards in the school district, connection from the past to the present. Middle school 1983, high school 1987, and again in 2019. And that photo from 2019 is now a historical document. For us. A proud tradition in the arts. I love this one. I was so glad that we were able to bring this back last year. There was a tradition of the middle school students going to the Festival of the Arts at one of the parks. They went back this year for the first time in a very long time, and I think they brought home three first place awards for going that. So nice connection from the past to the future there as well. Proud tradition in the arts. That's last year's SRO, and that's a play. And I know in there is a very young Mr. Wagner when he was in elementary school when he was here, and I think. There's also a very young community member, Mr. Lockhart, who I know in the community. He's in that photo too as maybe a 6 or 7 year old.
Wow.
So it's not unheard of. Even this past school year, right, we had the, what was the name of the high school musical? Sound of Music. So it was older students, right, with younger students performing a big production. So some threads between the past and the present. Proud tradition in athletics. Up on the left are all of the Shoreham-Wading River alumni that are inducted into the Suffolk Sports Hall of Fame on there. So we have Catherine Lee there, Xavier, who could forget Xavier. We have multiple state, Long Island County championships, players being drafted into Major League Baseball. So proud tradition of athletics in the school district continues. Proud alumni in the theater. Who could forget Carter Rubin's run back in that COVID year? How inspiring was that? Adam Conover along the way, who, by the way, was kind enough during the pandemic year to send our seniors an inspirational video that they played in home base, to tell the kids, hey, it's going to be all right. You guys are doing great. You're going to be fine. Just proud tradition of district being recognized for student excellence and success. The best high school, the annually for the NOM recognition, the NISFA school distinction. So that proud tradition continues. A lot to celebrate after 50 years. Proud tradition of community engagement. If you go back and read those newsletters, it was really important at the time to keep the community informed. I like the very first one. The first one on the left is Volume 1, Number 1, Board Schedule Second Pool Vote. Does anybody know how that vote turned out? I think at one point it's planned to be here. The pool was planned to be in the library at some point along the way. So the school district had 2 failed pool votes. Thankfully, the third vote for a pool was successful back in 2017.
Very good, Jerry. Ta-dum-tum.
Mr. Arcuri just got that.
Hopefully everyone home gets that one too.
Holding my breath for that one.
Where's he going with that? Oh, you thought I might suggest the pool as
Yes,
part of the 50th
exactly what I
anniversary
thought.
That's
celebration?
good.
Well, we do live on an island. We should be learning how to swim, right?
Correct.
A lot of milestones in the history of the school district. I just pulled a few headlines. Shifting to a Princeton plan kind of falls into that idea of unity in the school district. One of the headlines when the power plant closed. A big headline when the bond passed back in 2015. The closure of Briarcliff, the opening of Briarcliff for in-person instruction. So many, many milestones in the history of the school district along the way. So I just wanted to share briefly, get a little energy about the history of the school district, some of the successes, connections to the past. And I know myself and the committee who are doing a lot of work for this look forward really to carrying this out across the school year. So thank you for that.
Thank you, Mr. Poole, for this update. This is tremendous, right? What a great way to start off this next school year.
Good way to
with
kick
our
off the year.
50th, right, way to kick off the year. Thank you to the committee members who are serving to put this all together. It looks like you have a great number of planned events, pretty exciting. And it's funny to look, the things that are old are new and new are old again, right? When you look at some of these things, so it should be great. Thanks, Mr. Poole. Next up on our agenda tonight will be our district-wide safety plan hearing by Mr. Rossini. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, enjoyed that. Yeah, that's great. I like that.
All right, good evening. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to update the board and district administration on the district-wide safety plan for the upcoming school year. As you may recall, over the last couple years, the Health and Safety Committee has developed a comprehensive district-wide safety plan. The committee met on May 24th to discuss the current plan, review it, and suggest any changes that or updates that may be needed. After the review of the entire plan by the committee has made some minor updates and changes that we wish to incorporate and recommend for the 23-24 school year. So based on the committee's recommendations, on page 4 of the current plan, the formatting was added, was edited. It had some bold font that was not consistent with the rest of the document, and we adjusted that. The same on pages 7. On page 8, under staff training, the staff training section, mental health symptoms and resource training was added. On page 9, under notifications of the superintendent, the assistant superintendents were also added there as well. On pages 10, the American Physiological Association, MTV News, and special warnings were removed as a training resource list as they're no longer used. And again, here, mental health symptoms and resource training was added. Again, on page 10, under other methods of informing parents, the gang awareness program and anger management program were removed as they're no longer used. Similarly as earlier, on page 12, the formatting was once again edited for the bold font to be removed to be consistent with the document. Under page 14, under incidents for evacuation, gas leaks were added, as well as the word intruder was removed. Inside page 17, under section D, it was retitled from teachers to all other staff. On page 18, the job titles of Director of Technology was updated to Director of Technology and Cybersecurity, and the Transportation Assistant was updated to School Transportation Coordinator. And lastly, on page 19, the Director of PPS and the North Shore Youth Council were added to the Post-Incident Response Team. And that concludes our recommendations for this year. Any questions?
Is this working? Hello? It's coming?
Yeah, I can hear you.
You can hear me?
I can hear you, too.
Sorry, I'm deaf.
I'm right next to you.
So I understand this is the district-wide school safety plan. The individual buildings have their own, and since last year, we've added additional exterior spaces that are being used. Have those been incorporated into the individual building safety plans in terms of students being in those areas?
So,
Yeah.
exterior spaces, there's already a plan for those. If there's classes out for reading the book outside, or there's a physical education class out there. But certainly, when the learning environment was opened up, there were discussions about what would staff do when they were there.
Okay.
Those will certainly, we have an administrative retreat this week. We'll be going over those building level plans in depth with the entire administrative team on Friday morning. And the board, not in the public session, the district-wide safety plan is public. The building level plans and the functional annexes will come to the board in executive session, but the board does have to approve the building level plans. So once we have a draft form of those, we'll get those to the Board of Education in advance of that time, and have a security consultant come as well to review those in-depth safety plan. But there will be a couple of new annexes this year related to reunification, bag checks perhaps, things like that along the way. But
Yeah, I mean, we keep improving the facilities, so.
Yes.
As we add more exterior spaces where we congregate, you know, naturally, that's gonna be part of the plans, so.
yeah, how to handle
Thank you.
things when you're outside.
Thanks.
Just had a quick question about page 8. So, being on the Health and Safety Committee, I know that we thoughtfully go line by line through this each and every year. I particularly like the add of the mental health symptoms and resource training. However, we're continually looking, just to clarify, for additional training on a rotational basis, but this is not like a new addition, as in it didn't exist before. Just want to affirm that that's accurate.
No, every year annually, it's actually a state-required training that requires, as part of Project SAVE and school safety, that staff are trained in symptoms for mental health and then for resources that the district has to provide that. So this is just documenting that annual training. That this will be a part of this fall's training when staff return back to school this year.
Okay. So I guess we don't use MTV anymore, but oh well.
Anything else? Anyone else from Mr. Rossini? Thank you, Mr. Rossini. Appreciate the update.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This will be up for 30 days,
Yep.
and then the board will come back to adopt it. I do want to say there is an appendix being finalized. Is there a remote learning plan for the school district? It will be mirroring our remote learning plan for the pandemic, so that pandemic will come to the board shortly. We'll add it to what's posted, and that'll be part of the final adopted plan.
Very good. All right, next up is our votes and resolutions. May I get a motion for the approval of the June 20th, 2023 regular public meeting minutes? First Henry, second Mike. Any discussion or question on the agenda or on the meeting minutes? Okay to vote? All in favor? 7-0. Next up, approval of the June 29th, 2023 executive session minutes. May I get a motion? Katie, second Megan. Any discussion or questions? Okay to vote? All in favor? 7-0. So next up, we've got approval of policies. This is a second reading, and we will adopt as presented. It's policy number 5251, student fundraising activities, which is replacing 7450. May I get a motion? Katie, second Jim. Any discussion or questions? Okay to vote? All in favor? Jim, 7-0. Okay. Next up will be the Board of Education resolutions. Just flip the page here. Is it okay to take them as a block? We're going to be taking number 2324-001 through 2324-004. Okay, may I get a motion? Katie, second Henry. Any discussion or questions? All in favor? 7-0.
Should we discuss board members on the?
No.
Not yet.
Discussion. It's at the bottom.
Oh, okay.
Is that, yeah, should I, where are you going? What's that? So I did the votes and resolutions, I did the Board of Education resolutions. Now there's curriculum instruction, right? Is that where you're going, Amy? Okay, I didn't know if you had something. No? Okay. Okay. Let me do this here. So the curriculum instruction are the, okay. I'm just looking, where were you, Henry? Were you down
No, I was
somewhere else?
questioning the committee members, but we're gonna do that further down.
Okay, thank you. All right, just checking. All right, next up are curriculum and instruction resolutions. I have 2324005 to 2223-007. May I take these as a block? Okay. Mike first. May I get a motion? Mike? Katie? All in favor? 7-0. Oh, any questions? You have questions? Okay.
No, I don't make questions.
Okay. All right. I'm out of order on this, that's what's right, okay. Next up is human resources resolutions. I have number 23224-008, approval of rate to pay for substitute positions. May I get a motion? Katie? Henry, second. Any discussion or questions? Okay. Okay to vote, all in favor? 7-0.
I just have a quick question, I'm sorry. Curriculum instruction resolution 2223, should that be 2323?
I'm glad you asked that, because there should be a 4 there, right? For the approval of Twin Reed's production?
Yeah.
It should be 2323, not 2223.
2324.
Yeah, it should be 2324, right?
Yeah.
I was gonna ask that, but I figured someone would catch it, thank you. Okay, cool, all right, good, thanks, Mike. So you got that, Stephanie? Okay. Okay, so I did the approval, okay, so personnel, I think, or excuse me, we have no business and operation resolutions, moving on to personnel. May I get a motion to approve tonight's personnel? Rob? Katie? Any discussion or questions? Okay to vote? All in favor? 7-0. Now, for the committees, how is I was confused about the committee thing here. Okay, great. Is there a sheet? Yeah, do I have a sheet? Oh, okay. So I just wanted to open up for everyone on the board. Obviously, looking forward to having us participate in the committees this year. First up is the audit committee. Henry, you'd like to?
Yeah, I've been on it for a few years.
Over me.
Megan, thank you. Jim, were you on audit?
I was on audit.
Oh, sorry, Rob.
He was on technology.
Okay, no problem. Thanks, Rob. I didn't know.
I apologize.
No, don't apologize. No need to. All good. So we have Henry and Megan for audit. So far, so good?
What's the minimum number required?
We usually need 3 for each of the committees. We recommend 3 for each of the committees. And then for the liaisons for the curriculum development and capital projects, we need 2. If someone is unable to be in attendance, we can always have the fill-in.
Got it.
Maximum.
Yeah, I think the 3 is a maximum though, but, a minimum, I think, if we have
It's
one.
adjusted.
Could be 1 if there's a quorum.
One,
If there's a
yeah.
quorum for some of the committees that are board required, then 1's okay, and 2 is probably okay as well.
Okay.
But you're right,
Right.
3 is the max.
3 is the max, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll start there. If we want, we obviously could take another person on to audit if we wish, all of us.
Okay.
So I've got Megan and Henry committed to audit.
Great committee.
It's a great committee. It's all about the numbers.
How often do some of these committees meet?
That's a good question. How many? Once a year?
Audit.
I don't wanna-
Minimum
yeah.
4 times.
4 times a year?
Once a quarter?
A little bit heavier come October, November, and January, February, so it's really not broke
Okay.
now by quarter now.
You're interested in making those?
An audit is always in the
lesser
evenings, right?
Audit is always in the evening.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Katie, go ahead.
I was just clarifying that audit is one of the ones that's always in the evenings.
Right, okay, good point.
That's the challenge.
Very good point.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. So I'm gonna stay with that. Let's move on. We're going to space and facilities. Who would like to, Mike? Okay, thank you. Anyone else, space and facilities? Henry? Okay, good.
I'll join space and facilities again if there were 3 last time that
Okay.
wanted, but
Thanks, Katie. So I've got Mike, Henry, and Katie for space and facilities. Technology, I'd like to stay on technology myself. Jim, you're on technology? Right?
Yep.
Okay, yep, just making sure.
I'll stay also.
Okay, good.
I
So I've
think
got-
he was calling later over.
I assume. So I've got Tom, Jim, and Megan for technology. Policy committee, I'd like to also stay on policy. Katie, would you? And
Yeah, I'd be
Megan?
happy to.
Okay.
That does not meet 4 times a year.
No, it does not.
Thank you, Megan.
We're getting through that manual this year.
No, 100%, I saw your note, Jerry. You got a good plan. So I got Tom, Katie, and Megan for policy. Legislative, I've been on legislative, I'd like to stay on legislative. Anyone else?
I'll stay on, yeah.
Henry and Mike, okay, good. Henry and Mike. Health and safety? Mike, Henry, okay.
Jim was
I know I
on
haven't
the,
been looking.
Jim was
Henry.
on the
Jim,
health and safety.
Health and safety, Jim, right? He's frozen, that's why I don't know if he was up for the one before.
I think he signed up for all.
Tom, I'd like to be on that one also.
I don't know what he said.
Jim, just repeat yourself.
Yes, I'd like to be on health and safety.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you.
you. It was perfect timing, your screen froze, Jim, with your hand up.
So you're on all committees now.
So I have to say them that way.
I can see you blinking.
Sure, absolutely. Okay, very good. The other two are the liaisons. We have curriculum development. Anyone interested in curriculum development? Okay.
I would love to go. I just, I might have a work commitment that prevents me from going each time.
Okay.
So if we can have another trustee there, that would be
How
wonderful.
often do they meet?
Meet once every about 6 to 8 weeks, tops.
I'll try.
Okay. I'd like to stay on curriculum development. My schedule permits during the day, so.
I just can't.
No problem. Thank you, Megan. Thanks, Katie. So Mike, you want to join curriculum? Okay. So it'll be Tom and Mike on curriculum.
Great.
And then I have capital projects. Who would like to step up? Mike and Henry. Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay.
And then just to clarify on the committee, so in practice, we've been just alternating. If any trustee being welcome to attend a committee, if as long as there's not a quorum. If there is a quorum, then participation is prohibited, but presence is always acceptable. And then just to confirm, the board's still okay with like subbing out if necessary. Should we establish like a formal almost like an attendance of that, like just or are we good with continuing informally, just reaching out to one another?
Well, I mean, the way the calendar works is if you accept I think Stephanie controlled the calendar. If you accept it, then she knows you're attending. If you wait till the last minute at like 5 o'clock to say you can't make it 6 o'clock meeting, obviously the rest of the trustees don't have the have enough time to move things around. So I mean, I'm okay with. I use the schedule and the calendar, so I can't speak for everyone else.
Typically, I try to send out all committees to all the trustees so that you all know when the committee meetings are going to be. If someone can't attend and you see, if somebody says that they're not going to be able to be there, like Mike said, to kind of reach out between yourselves. But I send out the invitation for each committee meeting to all the board trustees,
Yeah,
so that you're all aware of all the committee meetings.
Okay, great.
That's the day when we get like 56
Yes.
meeting notifications.
Yes.
Bang.
Try to
One
have
the
about
other.
3 or 4 of those days a year.
And that calendar invite updates as, let's say Henry says no, I can go in there and see that he says no?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yes.
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, but I mean, from my perspective, if something, I mean, I know Rob's really busy this year. If something comes up, I'm still going to text you guys and let you know something came up, and hopefully.
Okay.
It didn't happen to us last year, though.
So,
Nice practice, but
yeah.
didn't
All right.
happen.
Yeah, I use that calendar so it, like, for my own personal purposes, so I'm always, having it on the alert. But if everyone's willing to kind of, click there,
So
That
something
would be
we could
great.
do is in the board updates, I know when Jerry posts the list of things that are upcoming events, we may want to just, I don't know if there's a section just to remind everyone that these are the following meetings that month maybe, just in advance, so that, not just, again, and maybe I could work with you, Stephanie, on who's accepted or who hasn't, maybe just call that out to know who's not, just in case, just to give more advance notice. I think the end of the day is, we all get busy and things happen, and that may happen from time to time, but I think it's great that all of us attend our meetings where we can, and
My only concern with that,
Yep.
Tom, is that you now have a static document, which can change in a minute. So if you use the calendar, it's live.
Okay.
So I understand what you're saying, but if Superintendent Poole puts out that technology, Tom and Megan are going, and then all of a sudden Henry, a minute later, responds, it's no longer valid.
Okay, got it. All right, so maybe just stay with my
The
initial thought.
calendar, we just have to be.
Just
a
the
little
dates. I
bit
just
more
think
deliberate
putting the
with
dates of
calendar.
the meetings just out there so we're all aware again, just
Yeah.
top of mind.
In every board update on Fridays, there is a section that says upcoming events.
Right,
And,
that's what I'm saying.
and they usually are
listed.
all
Okay,
listed,
good.
but I'll make sure to double check that they're all listed
Okay, good.
for upcoming within week, month.
I think that's good, because then it prompts us then to look at the
Yep.
calendar.
Yeah.
Okay, very good.
Okay,
Well, look, I think we all can do our best and try and make these meetings as best as possible, and wherever possible, if someone could sub, that would be great too. Okay,
Okay.
good, all right. All right, I think we're good. I think we can adjourn the meeting. May I get a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting? Rob, second Katie. All in favor? 7-0. Thank you, Tom. It is 8:02.
All right, that's it.
thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you, everyone.
Congrats,
Congrats,
Henry.
Henry.
Thank you very much.